Let yourself grow still now. There is nothing more the day needs from you. Whatever was done is done, and whatever was left undone can wait until morning. And the morning is a long way off. So you can set it all down. You can let your shoulders soften, and your hands fall open, and your breath grow slow and low and even, like the small dark waves that lap a northern shore long after the wind has gone to sleep. Listen, the story I will tell you tonight comes from the far north, from a land of still lakes and dark pines and long blue winters, where the snow lies soft and the nights are long and made for resting. It is a story about an old man and the songs he sang, and it asks nothing of you at all. You do not need to remember it. You do not need to follow every word. The words are only a quiet road for you to walk down until sleep finds you, and you are welcome to fall asleep whenever you like. Whenever your thoughts begin to drift, let them drift. Whenever my voice grows faint and far away, let it. That is exactly what is meant to happen here. Tonight we go to the country, the old people called the land of Kaleva, where the lakes lie like sheets of dark glass between the hills, and the forests stand close and quiet. And in winter, the sky itself sometimes catches fire in slow green and violet light, the aurora drifting silent overhead. It is a calm country, an old country, a country that knows how to be quiet. And in that country, long ago, before the towns and the roads, there lived a singer, not a singer of the kind you might first imagine. In that old land, to sing was not only to make a pleasant sound. To sing was to know the deepest words, the true names of things, the way the world was made and held together. All of this lived in songs. And the one who knew the most songs was the wisest one of all. They did not say that someone was learned. They said that someone knew many songs. And of all the people who ever lived in the land of Kaleva, none knew more songs than the old man whose name was Vainamoinen. Say the name softly to yourself, the way you might say the name of someone you trust. It is a long, slow, rolling name, a name like the country it comes from, unhurried and deep. Vainamoinen, the old singer, the one who had been in the world so long that he seemed always to have been there, with his long gray beard and his calm, deep eyes and his quiet, steady voice. He is the one whose story will carry you down into sleep tonight. You do not have to hold him in your mind. Only let him be there, at the edge of things. An old man by a quiet lake, singing softly to himself, while you let go and grow heavy and begin, slowly, to drift. There is no hurry here. The North taught its people patience, the long patience of the snow that takes its time, the long patience of the lake that freezes slow and thaws slow. Let that patience be the first gift the story gives you. You do not have to rush toward sleep. You only have to lie still in the quiet and let it come. The way the dark comes down soft over the pines. Breathe for a moment the cold, clean air of that far country. Imagine the smell of pine and snow and wood smoke. The hush of a forest where the only sound is the soft fall of snow from a heavy branch. Imagine standing at the edge of one of those great still lakes at the close of day. The water so calm, it holds the whole sky, the pink and gold of the long fading light, and the first faint stars. Nothing moves, nothing hurries. The whole land is settling slowly into its long night, and there is room in all that quiet for you to settle to. Wherever you are lying now, let that calm northern stillness come and lie down around you, soft as snow, and let yourself begin to grow heavy beneath it. Picture him for a while, the old singer, Vainamoinen, in the early days of the world. He was old beyond the counting of years, older than anyone could remember, so old that the children of the land grew up hearing of him as their grandparents had, and their grandparents before them. Some of the old tellers said he had been born already old, already wise, already gray, as though he had come into the world, having lived a long life somewhere else first. And whether that was so or not, this much was always told the same way. He was steady. He was calm. He was kind in the slow, quiet way of someone who has seen a great deal and learned that very little is worth hurrying over. He lived simply in the way of that land. He had a small house among the pines and a boat upon the lake. In the long days of summer when the sun barely set, and the long nights of winter when it barely rose, he fished and he mended his nets, and he walked the forest paths, and through all of it, always, he sang. Not loudly, not to be heard by anyone. He sang the way other people breathe, low and constant and without effort, the old songs running through him like a river runs through a country, carrying the deep knowledge of how things were and how they came to be. For that was his gift, and it was a gift greater than any other in that old world. When Vainamoinen sang, things happened, not in a loud, startling way, slowly, gently, the way warmth spreads through cold hands held near a fire. If he sang of calm, a calm would settle over the troubled water. If he sang of the deep names of the forest, the very trees seemed to lean a little closer to listen. His songs were not commands shouted at the world. They were more like reminders, soft and sure, telling each thing what it truly was, until the thing remembered and became most fully itself. The people of Kaleva knew this about him, and they loved him for it. And they came to him when they needed the deep wisdom that only the oldest songs could give. They did not fear him, though his power was very great. You do not fear a calm old man by a quiet lake. You sit down beside him, and you grow calm yourself. That was how it was with Vainamoinen. To be near him was to feel the hurry go out of you, the way the hurry is going out of you now, here in the dark, with your breath grown slow and your body grown heavy, and the quiet settling over the room like snow settling soft over the pines. He had no need to prove himself to anyone. He had lived too long and known too much for that. His power sat easy on him, like an old coat worn soft with years. He never raised his voice. He never boasted of what he knew. He simply was who he was, the oldest and the wisest, the singer of the deepest songs, going calmly about his quiet life in the long northern light, in no hurry at all, asking nothing of the world but that it let him sing. There is a deep comfort in a person like that, and perhaps you have known one somewhere in your life, the kind of old soul who is never rattled, never rushed, who sits steady at the center of every storm while everyone else hurries about. To be near such a person is to feel your own breathing slow, to feel the tightness in your chest loosen, to feel that perhaps nothing is quite so urgent as you had thought. That was what it was to sit by Vainamoinen. The fishermen would come in from the cold lake, full of the day's small worries, and they would sit a while near the old man while he sang low over his nets, and without quite noticing it, they would feel the worry drain away, and they would walk home lighter. Let that same easing happen in you now. Let the old singer's calm reach across all the long years and all the cold miles and settle softly over you, here in the dark, loosening you, slowing you, asking nothing. And for a long while, that was enough, and the days passed slow and good. But far away, in another part of the land, in a place the old tellers called the North, there was a young man who had heard of Vainamoinen and his songs, and who did not understand, the way the young so often do not understand, that some kinds of wisdom are not won by being loud. His name was Joukahainen, and he was about to do a foolish thing. In the North, there lived this young man, Joukahainen, and he was clever and quick and very pleased with himself. He had learned his songs, as the young of that land did, and he knew a good many of them, and he sang them well, and the people around him praised him for it. And because he was young, and because he had never yet met anyone who knew more than he did, he came to believe that there was no one who knew more than he did. He heard the old people speak of Vainamoinen, the great singer in the land of Kaleva, the one whose songs could calm water and waken forests. And instead of feeling wonder, he felt a hot and prickly thing rise in him that he did not have the wisdom yet to recognize. He felt jealousy. He felt the foolish, restless need to prove that he was better. This is a thing worth pausing on, softly, as the warm dark gathers around you, because it is so very human and so easy to forgive. The young man was not wicked. He was only young and untested, and had never yet bumped up against the great edge of how much there was in the world that he did not know. We are all of us like that once. We all have a time when we believe we have understood things, before we learn how deep the things really go. There is no shame in it. It is only a stage of growing, and the kindest of the old singers knew it, and that is why the lesson Vainamoinen would teach was, in the end, a gentle one. But the young man could not see that yet. His old father shook his head when Joukahainen spoke of going to challenge Vainamoinen. His old mother, too, told him to stay home. Vainamoinen, they said, is older than the hills and wiser than the deep lake, and his songs go down to the very roots of the world. You are young. You know a few songs well. That is a fine thing, but it is not the same thing. Stay home. Do not go looking for a contest you cannot win. But Joukahainen would not listen, the way the young so often will not listen. He hitched his finest horse to his sledge, and he set off across the snow toward the land of Kaleva, his heart full of pride, certain that he would meet the old singer and outsing him and come home covered in glory. He drove fast and reckless along the winter roads, the runners hissing over the hard snow, the cold air streaming past, his head full of the great words he would say and the great songs he would sing. Let yourself ride along that snowy road for a moment, but gently, without his hurry. The dark pines passing on either side, heavy with snow, the wide, white silence of the frozen lakes, the breath of the horse rising in clouds, the long, low northern light lying gold and rose along the edge of the world. It is a beautiful country to travel through, if only you go slowly enough to see it. Joukahainen did not. He rushed through all that quiet beauty thinking only of himself, the way we do when we are young and the hurry is still in us. And so, he missed it, but you need not miss it. You can let the snowy road carry you along, slow and soft, deeper and deeper into the calm white north, while the foolish young man rushes on ahead toward his lesson, and along that same road coming the other way, calm and unhurried, his own horse stepping easy through the snow, came the old singer himself. Vainamoinen was out upon the winter road that day, on some quiet errand of his own, in no hurry, singing low to himself as always, his gray beard frosted, his deep eyes half closed against the bright snow. He did not know that the young man was coming. He did not know that anyone wished to challenge him. He drove along easy and content, an old man in the snow, until on a narrow stretch of the road, where the pines pressed close on either side, the two sledges met and could not pass, and came to a stop nose to nose in the white silence of the winter wood. There they sat, the two of them, on the narrow, snowy road, neither sledge able to pass the other. Vainamoinen looked across at the young man with his calm old eyes and said mildly that one of them would have to draw aside and let the other by. It was a small thing, the kind of small thing travelers settle every day with a nod and a word. But Joukahainen, his heart hammering with the chance he had been waiting for, did not draw aside. Instead, he lifted his chin and declared, loudly, that whoever knew the more songs, whoever was the wiser of the two, should keep the road, and the lesser should pull aside into the snow. He had found his contest. He would settle the matter here. The old man studied him a moment, this brash young stranger, and perhaps he sighed, the small soft sigh of someone who has seen this many times before and knows how it will go. He did not grow angry. He did not boast in return. He only asked the young man, gently, what songs he knew, what wisdom he had, what he could tell of the way the world was made. Show me, he seemed to say, what you have learned. Let me hear it. And Joukahainen, glad to be asked, began to sing. He sang of the things he knew. He sang that there were fish in the water and birds in the air, that iron was hard and water was wet, that the pike swims in the cold lake and the reindeer runs on the fell. All true things, all real enough, the ordinary knowledge of the world. He sang them well, with a young man's energy, pleased with each one. And when he had sung a while of these everyday things, he came to the great matters, the making of the world. And here, because he wished so badly to seem wise, he began to claim more than he knew. He sang that it was he himself who had been there at the beginning, he who had plowed the seas and set up the sky, he who had hung the sun and scattered the stars. He took the great old deeds of the deep past and laid claim to them, boasting, stretching the truth further and further to make himself seem grand. Now feel how the old man listened to all of this. He did not interrupt. He let the young one sing himself out, all his small true songs and all his large false boasts, and he listened with the patient stillness of the lake, listening to the wind. And when at last Joukahainen had finished, breathless and proud, certain he had impressed the old man, Vainamoinen only shook his head slowly and said quietly that this was childish knowledge, the knowledge of a boy, and that the great boasts were simply not true. You were not there at the making of the world, he said gently, without cruelty. I know, because I was. I remember the deep beginning. I have the old songs, the true ones, in me. And something in the way he said it, the calm certainty of it, the weight of all those years behind it, made the young man falter, just for a moment. But pride is a stubborn thing, especially in the young, and instead of bowing his head, Joukahainen grew hot and reckless, and he did the most foolish thing of all. He challenged the old singer to a true contest of song, the deep kind, the kind where words have power, the kind that is not a game, He all but dared Vainamoinen to use the real old songs against him. And the old man, who had asked for none of this, who had only wanted to pass along a snowy road, looked at the foolish boy a long, quiet moment, and then, slowly, he began to sing. When Vainamoinen began to sing in earnest, the whole world seemed to grow still to listen. It was not loud. That is the thing to understand. The thing to let sink into you here in the dark. The greatest power in all that old world did not arrive with thunder or shouting. It came as a low, deep, steady song, an old man's voice rolling out slow and sure across the snow, each word ancient and true and full of the weight of the world's own making. He sang from the deep place, from the true old songs, the ones that knew the real names of things. And when those names were spoken aloud by one who truly knew them, the world itself began to answer. The lakes stirred and rocked, though there was no wind. The frozen ground trembled softly underfoot. The far mountains seemed to lean. The old tellers said that as Vainamoinen sang, the very landscape began to move and change at the sound of his voice, slow and grand and unstoppable, the way a great glacier moves, the way the seasons turn, without hurry and without anything able to stand against it. This was the power of true song, the deep magic of the Old North, where to know the real name of a thing was to be able to speak to it, and to speak to it truly was to make it listen. And the young man Joukahainen, who had wanted so badly to seem this powerful, learned now what such power really was. As Vainamoinen sang, the song began, gently, to undo his foolish boasting. It is told that the old man sang the fine sledge from beneath the young man into a fallen log by the shore. He sang the trappings of the bright horse into reeds along the water. He sang the gold from the young man's belt into flowers in the field, and the gloves from his hands into lily pads on the lake, turning each proud possession back into the simple, natural thing it had once been, gently dismantling all the pride the young man had wrapped himself in. And then, still singing, calm and slow and without any cruelty in it, Vainamoinen sang the boastful young man himself down into a swamp, not to destroy him, only to humble him. The old tellers said the song carried Joukahainen down, sinking into the soft, cold mud of a marsh by the road, down to his knees in it, and then, as the song went on, down to his waist, and then, as the deep words kept rolling, down to his chin, unto the proud young man who had come to outsing the wisest singer in the world, stood stuck fast in a bog, the dark water at his lips, unable to move, undone entirely by a power he had never truly understood. There was no shouting in any of it. That is what I would have you carry with you as you grow more and more drowsy. The greatest force in that whole old world was a quiet old voice singing low. It did not need to be loud because it was true, and what is true does not need to shout. Let that quiet settle over you now, soft and deep. The real strength in the world is not the loud strength. It is the calm, patient, certain kind. The kind that knows what it knows and has no need to prove it. That is the strength that holds you tonight. It is the strength of the steady ground and the patient stars and the old song that asks nothing of you but rest. There in the swamp, stuck fast, the dark water at his chin, Joukahainen at last understood. All his pride was gone now, washed out of him by the cold mud and the deep song. He understood, finally, what his father and mother had tried to tell him. that there are kinds of wisdom not won by being loud, and that he had met one far older and deeper than himself, and that he had been a fool. And so, with the water at his lips, he did the only wise thing he had done all that day. He stopped boasting. He begged. He called out to the old singer to spare him, to sing him free, and he offered, in his desperation, gift after gift, anything at all. If only Vainamoinen would let the song release him and let him climb out of the cold marsh alive. And here, the old man showed what true wisdom looks like when it is won. He was not cruel. He had never wished the young man harm. He had only meant to teach a lesson that needed teaching, and now that it was learned, he was willing to let it end. The old teller spun a long tale of all the gifts the young man offered, and the old man refused. But the heart of it is gentle. Vainamoinen had made his point, and he held no grudge. And in time, he was content to sing the young man free and send him home humbled and wiser, sadder perhaps, but carrying a knowledge worth far more than all his easy pride. Joukahainen climbed out of the swamp and went back to the north, a changed man, and the old singer drove on along his quiet road, and the matter was done. But let us leave the young man to his lesson, for it is not him you have come to follow into sleep. It is the old singer and his songs. And not long after this, the old tellers say, Vainamoinen did the thing he is most loved for of all, the thing that mattered far more than any contest. He made the first kantele. There is something worth resting on here. As you sink deeper into the quiet, the old man could have done anything with his power. He could have called the world to him, demanded its wonder, sung mountains down for the joy of showing he could. But what he chose to do, in the long calm of his days, was to make something beautiful with his own two hands, to bend over a piece of bone and a few fine strings, patient and careful, and to make a thing whose only purpose was to give the world a little more beauty and a little more peace. That, too, is a kind of wisdom, perhaps the truest kind, not to use your strength to take, but to use it to make and to give. Let that quiet truth settle over you as you drift. The kantele was the harp of that old land, a simple, beautiful thing, a long wooden body strung with strings that, when plucked, gave out a sound clear and sweet and silvery, like water falling, like ice singing on a frozen lake. And the very first one, the old tellers say, Vainamoinen D's fix, Vainamoinen made with his own hands, out of the most unlikely things, the way the deepest beauty so often comes from the most ordinary stuff of the world. He had been out fishing on the great lake, and from its cold, dark waters he had drawn up an enormous pike, a giant of a fish, ancient and strong. And looking at the great fish, the old singer had an idea, quiet and bright. From the broad, curved jawbone of that great pike, he carved the body and the frame of the first kantele, shaping the hard bone gently with his careful old hands. For the pegs that held the strings he used the strong teeth of the same great fish. And for the strings themselves, the old tellers say, he used fine hairs given by a gentle spirit of the forest, thread-like and shining, stretched tight across the bone frame. A harp made of a fish's jaw, and a maiden's hair, and an old man's patient love. And when it was finished, he held it in his hands, this strange and lovely thing made of the lake and the forest, and he wondered what sound it would make. For a long while, the old tellers say, no one could play the kantele rightly. This is a gentle part of the story. and a true one, and worth letting settle into you as you grow drowsy. The instrument was made, the beautiful thing was finished, but the music in it would not come for just anyone. The young men of the land took it up and plucked at the strings, eager and clumsy, and it gave back only a poor, thin sound, a jangle, nothing like the music that slept inside it. They passed it from hand to hand, and each tried and each failed. And the kantele stayed silent of its true voice, for the music in it was not a thing to be grabbed at or forced. It would come only to the one who knew how to be still and patient and full of feeling, the one who would not snatch at the beauty but wait for it. So at last they brought the kantele to old Vainamoinen, the one who had made it, and they set it in his lap, and they asked him to play. And the old man took it up gently, with his careful hands, and he settled himself, and he was in no hurry at all. He let the quiet gather. He laid his old finger softly on the strings, and then, slowly, he began to play. And oh, the sound that came! The old tellers reached for every beautiful thing they knew to describe it, and still felt they had fallen short. It was the loveliest music that had ever been heard in all the world. It was clear and sweet and deep and full of every feeling at once, joy and longing and peace and a tender ache that was almost too beautiful to bear. The notes fell like water over stones, like light moving on a lake, like the soft green fire of the aurora drifting across the winter sky. And as Vainamoinen played, the most wonderful thing in all his long story began to happen. The whole world stopped to listen. Every creature of the forest came. The old tellers told it slow and lovingly. The squirrels came down through the branches and grew still. The hares came out from the thickets and sat without moving. The wolf and the bear, the fox and the lynx, all the wild things that hunt and are hunted, came and lay down together in peace, all their fierceness gone, listening. The birds left the air and gathered on the boughs above him. From the rivers and the lakes, the fish rose up to the surface, the great pike and the small bright minnows alike, lifting their heads from the water to hear. Even the spirits of the woods and the waters drew near, the old quiet powers of that land, and grew still and listened. And then, the old teller said, came the most tender thing of all. As Vainamoinen played on, the music grew so deep and so beautiful that all who heard it began, softly, to weep. Not from sorrow, from a kind of fullness, a sweetness, almost too great for the heart to hold. Tears stood in the eyes of every creature gathered there. And the old man himself, playing on, was so moved by his own music and by the beauty of the whole listening world that the tears ran down his own gray beard and fell, the old tellers say, into the lake. And there, in the cold blue water, his tears were changed, becoming pearls, round and pale and lovely, sinking down to rest forever on the bed of the lake, so that even the old singer's weeping became a thing of beauty, scattered like soft moons across the dark floor of the water. Let that picture hold you now as you drift down toward sleep. The whole world gathered close and quiet around an old man and his harp. The fierce things gone gentle, the wild things lying down in peace. Every creature, every bird, every fish, every spirit, all of them stilled and softened and brought together by a beauty so deep it brought tears. And even the tears turned to pearls. There is no fear anywhere in that picture. No hurry, no harm. Only the whole living world held together for a little while in the spell of a single quiet song, the way you are held now, soft and safe. In the spell of this one, stay in that gathering a little longer. There is no need to leave it. Feel how the music drifts out across the still water and into the dark trees, and how everything it touches grows calm. Imagine yourself there too, at the soft edge of that circle, neither watching nor listening exactly, only resting in the warm spell of it. One more quiet creature, drawn in by the beauty and allowed to lie down in peace. The notes fall slow and clear, one after another, like drops of water, like soft footsteps, like the slow beating of a calm and steady heart. You do not have to do anything, but let them fall over you. Let each note loosen you a little more. Let each note carry you a little deeper. The old man plays on, and the whole world rests, and so may you. After that, the old tellers say, Vainamoinen played his kantele often, and the land of Kaleva was the better for it. There were long, calm years then. Good years. The kind that pass quietly and leave no loud stories behind them, only a deep contentment. The old singer would sit by the lake in the long northern evenings, when the sun lay low and gold along the water and the night barely came, and he would play, and the people would gather to listen, and the creatures of the forest would draw near at the edges, and a great peace would settle over everything. His music healed quarrels and eased sorrows. When someone in the land was troubled or grieving or could not sleep, they would come and sit at the edge of his plain, and the deep, sweet notes of the kantele would loosen the knot in them and soothe the ache and carry them gently toward calm. For that was the truest power of the psalm, deeper even than the power that had sung the young man into the swamp. It was the power to comfort, the power to take a heart that was clenched tight and ease it open, the power to take a mind that was racing and slow it down. The way a hand laid gently on a frightened animal will quiet it. Vainamoinen had the strength to move mountains with his songs, but the thing he used that strength for mostly was kindness, to calm, to soothe, to make the troubled world a little gentler for a while. And the people loved him for it, more than they had ever loved him for his power. Feel how this is the deepest thing in the whole long story, and let it be the thing that follows you down into sleep. The greatest singer in all the world, the one who knew the most songs, the one whose voice could shake the hills, spent his long, calm years not shaking anything, but soothing, easing, comforting, helping the people of his land lay down their troubles and rest. There is the true power, not the power to disturb, but the power to calm, and that is the power that is being used on you now, here in the dark. The soft old power of a quiet voice and a gentle song, asking nothing of you, wishing nothing for you but peace and rest and good sleep. The seasons turned over the land of Kaleva as they do, slow and sure. The long, bright summers when the sun would not quite set, and the old man played in the silver midnight light by the still water. The deep, dark winters when the snow lay heavy on the pines and the aurora drifted green and violet overhead, and the people gathered close in their warm houses, and the music of the kantele drifted out soft across the frozen lake. Year after good year, the old singer sat among his people, growing older, growing quieter, growing, if it were possible, gentler still. His music, the steady, soft heartbeat of the land, holding it all in calm. And nothing in those long years was hurried. Nothing was loud. The world simply turned, slow and good, around the old man and his harp, the way it is turning slow and good around you now. while your breath grows deep and your body grows heavy, and the warm dark gathers close. There is no part of this story left that could trouble you. The foolish young man learned his lesson long ago. The kantele is made, the music has played, and the whole world has wept its pearls and grown still. All that is left now is the long calm, and the slow turning of the seasons, and the quiet song going on and on into the northern night. But all things in the old world have their season, even the longest and the calmest. And there came at last a time when the old singer felt that his work in the land of Kaleva was done. The world was changing, slowly, the way worlds do. New ways were coming to the land, new times, and the old man, wise as he had always been, understood that his long age was drawing toward its close. He did not fight this. He had never fought the turning of things. He had spent his whole long life learning that the deepest wisdom is to let things be what they are and to move with the seasons rather than against them. And so now, when his own season turned, he met it the way he had met everything, with calm. There was no sorrow in his leaving, or if there was, it was the soft kind, the kind that is more like gratitude than grief. He had lived longer than anyone, and known more than anyone, and given more than anyone, and he was content. The old tellers say that he made ready his boat, the same kind of boat he had always sailed upon the lakes, and that he prepared to go out across the water, away from the land of Kaleva, toward the far quiet edge of the world where the old ones go. But before he went, he gave the people his last and greatest gift. He left them the song. He left them the kantele and the music and the deep old knowledge of how to play it. He left them all his songs, everyone, the whole great treasure of them, so that even when he himself had gone out over the water and was seen no more, his music would stay behind in the land, in the hands and the voices of the people, going on without him. He had spent his life singing, and now he made sure that the singing would not end when he did. That was his way of staying, not in body, but in song. The kantele would still be played by the lakes of Kaleva long after the old man's boat had passed beyond the edge of sight, and in that music he would always, in a way, still be there. Feel how gentle an ending this is, and let its gentleness reach you where you lie. There is no struggle in it, no fear, no clinging. The old man simply knew that his time had come, and he met it the way he had met the turning of every season, the freezing of every lake, the falling of every snow, with calm and with trust, and with a quiet readiness to let go. That is perhaps the very last thing his long life had to teach, the deepest song of all, sung without any words. That when the time comes to let go, you may let go softly, without grasping, the way the boat slips from the shore, the way the day slips into night, the way you are slipping now, gently toward sleep. And so, the old tellers say, on a calm day, Vainamoinen stepped into his boat and pushed off from the shore and began to sail slowly out across the wide, still water, away toward the horizon, away toward the far place beyond the world. The people stood on the shore and watched him go, and as he went, growing smaller and smaller upon the bright water, it is said that he was singing softly as he had always sung, his low, calm voice carrying back to them over the lake, growing fainter and fainter as the boat drew further away. He sailed on and on into the gold light at the edge of the world, until at last the boat was only a small dark speck, and then not even that. and the old singer had passed out of the world, leaving behind him only the long ripples on the water, slowly smoothing, and the soft last echo of his song, slowly fading, and the kantele and all the music, left forever in the keeping of the people he loved. Let that be the picture you carry down into the deep sleep now. The calm, bright water, the little boat going slowly out toward the gold horizon, the old singer's voice growing soft and far away, fading gently into the great quiet of the north, leaving only beauty behind. There is no sadness you need feel in it. He left the way the day leaves, gently, and like the day. He left the world lovelier than he found it, full of song. And now there is nothing left for you to do at all. The young man is humbled and home. The kantele is made and played. The whole world has gathered and wept its pearls and grown still. The long, calm years have turned and turned, and the old singer has sailed out softly over the water, leaving his song behind in the warm dark of the world for the people to keep. The music plays on, low and sweet, somewhere out over the still lakes of the north, and it asks nothing of you, nothing at all, but that you let it carry you the rest of the way down. So let your breath go slow and deep, the way the old man breathed his songs. Let your body grow heavy and still, like the calm, dark water after the boat has passed. Feel the steady ground beneath you, and the quiet around you, and the soft last echo of the kantele drifting somewhere far away over the lakes and the pines. The aurora is drifting green and silent overhead. The snow lies soft on the dark trees. The old song is fading, into the deep northern quiet. And you are held and you are safe, and there is nothing left to do but rest. Let your breath grow slower still. Let the last echo of the kantele grow fainter and fainter, until it blends entirely into the deep quiet of the northern night, and there is only the warm dark and the soft weight of sleep, and you, held safe at the heart of an old, calm, gentle world. Sleep now. The song goes on. All is calm. Good night.